If you were getting married and your wedding invite said no kids and someone brought their infant to your wedding, how mad would you be? Hello, child-free friends. So this lady went on to Reddit and said that she completely ignored the no kids rule at a wedding that she recently went to, even after the couple explained that they had limited capacity and that no children would be allowed. Hey, Lay, how about you sit right here? You can be the child-free mascot because you also don't have kids. Okay, I guess that's not going to work. My baby was 10 months old at the time, and I wasn't comfortable leaving him alone in an unfamiliar place with a stranger, which was a babysitter that my other cousin had hired for her own kids. So I decided to bring him to the wedding. The invitation said no kids, and that means no kids. I'm sure that's not easy for a mom to leave her 10-month-old baby with somebody. She could choose not to go to the wedding if she didn't want to hire a babysitter, or she could hire a different babysitter, or she could have found a friend of the family that wasn't attending the wedding that she felt comfortable with and left her baby with that individual. But it seems like those weren't options for the mom because she simply decided that I'm just going to take him to the wedding. I don't see this going well at all. She says that she wrote on the RSVP that she would be attending with her baby but will bring her own food for him. I don't think food is the issue. 10-month-old babies don't eat very much. She continues. When her cousin didn't reply, she, quote, assumed that he was okay with it. No. Cousin is not going to be okay with you bringing your baby to the wedding. Your cousin probably didn't message you when he got your invitation back because he was like, I don't even want to deal with this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you are so disrespectful that you are bringing your baby to a wedding that clearly states babies are not welcome, you're probably kind of a difficult person. Cousin is probably very busy planning his wedding and living his life, and he doesn't want to have a difficult conversation with someone who is ignoring his request. Fast forward to the wedding. This should be good. And she was the only person there with a child. Well, of course she was the only one there with a child because she didn't follow the rules. I can't imagine. Can you imagine the first time that bride and groom saw that baby in the audience? They probably were like, are you kidding me right now? Or maybe this mom is just very difficult in general, so maybe they weren't totally surprised. So the mom says, my baby cried at the ceremony, but I quickly took him out of the room. At the reception, I had him with me the whole time in a baby carrier. He didn't make much of a fuss, and I thought everything was okay. Okay. How can everything be okay when a baby cries at a ceremony, a baby that's not even supposed to be there? This is nothing personal against the baby. It was not the baby's choice to jump into the car seat and drive themselves to the wedding. This is all on the parents. She says she quickly left with him. I mean, it kind of doesn't really matter how quickly she left with him. He was crying through the ceremony, which means people were being disturbed during a ceremony that is like a really big deal. This is kind of a weird thing to say. She's talking about the reception and how she had him with her the whole time in a baby carrier. Well, where else would the baby be? It's 10 months old. And then the mom was saying that he didn't make much of a fuss. I think parents are very used to their children making lots of noise and being disruptive because that's what kids do. But the mom saying it wasn't much of a fuss doesn't mean it wasn't much of a fuss. Even crying for 20 seconds is a fuss, and it's too much of a fuss for the environment that you're in. I've been at events where babies start crying, and obviously that's normal for a baby to do. And the parent doesn't get up and leave. They just kind of wait it out. The baby may be fussing for 30 seconds or a minute, and to me, that's a really long 30 seconds where I'm thinking in my head, maybe you need to take the child out because it's creating a lot of distraction for people, and we're trying to watch a thing here. This is why people don't want babies at certain events, because even 30 seconds of crying, even 15 seconds of crying is distracting and maybe just not appropriate for that specific event. To be perfectly honest, this 10-month-old has no clue what is going on at this wedding. It's not going to have any kind of special memories, and this event is not going to be of any significance to this baby at all. So she goes on saying she thinks everything's okay. I can guarantee you not everything is okay. Just because the bride and the groom aren't confronting the mom about the baby doesn't mean everything's okay. It's their special day. They don't even want to deal with it. Guaranteed, there are going to be some angry words when this is all over. It wasn't okay. According to the woman, her aunt eventually confronted her and told her it was rude of her to show up with her baby. Go auntie. My other cousin's baby was 7 months old at the time, and my aunt said that he had no problem leaving his baby with a certified babysitter, and I should have done the same. Yes, you should have done the same. Or mom could have made the choice to not come to the wedding if she didn't feel comfortable leaving her baby with anybody. Because I think sometimes those are the sacrifices that you have to make if you have kids and kids are not invited to specific events. She added that her cousins also got angry with her because it looked like she had gotten special treatment under the no kid rules. Totally, 100%, because other parents were responsible to go and get babysitters and maybe make the sacrifice to not bring their kids even though they maybe wanted to bring their kids. And this lady shows up with her kid and she kind of gets away with it. I do not understand when people can't follow simple instructions and simple requests.
That still blows my mind that happened.
It just blows my mind that you can read an invitation that clearly states, do not bring your children, and think that you are exempt from that rule. She was not exempt, and now it's just causing chaos and friction and drama in the family. It makes me wonder if this lady just doesn't follow rules in general and often gets away with it. She ended the post by saying, "I didn't mean to start any drama." What? Oh my goodness. People in the comments did not hold back. Your baby literally did the thing that the bride and groom wanted to avoid, disrupt the ceremony. You had plenty of time to find a babysitter or other family member to watch your kid while you were at the wedding, but decided you were above the rules. Yes, 100% agree. The rules are there because someone wants you to follow them. You don't get a pass on the rules just because you didn't feel comfortable leaving your baby with somebody. Another user shot down her excuse not being comfortable with the babysitter. Just don't go to the wedding, they wrote. Staying home is always an option. Yes. That would be a very good option and perhaps the best option for this particular mother. One of the other posters blasted the woman for not trying to talk it out directly with the couple. She just included it in the RSVP, the user wrote. She had to know this was going to be an issue because she just believed she could get away with it because the rules are apparently different for her. My assumption is that she didn't want to directly talk to her cousin about it because she knew her cousin was going to pull a hard line and be like, no, you can't bring your kid. And then if she had had that conversation with the cousin and still brought her kid, she would have looked even worse. So I almost feel like maybe she thought that, oh, the ball is in his court. And I know the invitation said no kids, but I said I'm bringing my kid. And then he didn't come back at me and say like, no, don't bring your kids. So I'm okay to bring my kid. I don't know how you justify that in your mind, but I mean, maybe that's kind of how she thought about it. I don't know, people just think differently sometimes. When we say that we want our events to be child-free, that is exactly what we mean. We want them to be child-free. As a child-free community, we absolutely get to be vocal about our child-free choice. And yes, it's important to talk about, so we're going to keep doing it.